Young.
Have a seat. Welcome.
Look at this, the future of men's tennis in the United States. How are you, Donald? Welcome.
I'm doing well,
to
thanks.
Lunch with Bruce. Now, I'd like to introduce my co-host for the day. This is Mark Robbins.
Nice to meet you.
From News 8. And we're both big fans.
I appreciate that.
So welcome. Now, what we've covered while we've been waiting for you, you're from Atlanta, Georgia.
Correct.
I'm trying to remember this because as I pointed out to these guys, I'm not very well prepared. I remember from my interview yesterday with Jeremy Shardy that did you guys play in the junior championships against each other at Wimbledon?
Yeah, he beat me in the semifinals in 05.
But you know what? Mark
Yeah.
was commenting the amazing match you had against Davydenko here in New Haven.
Yeah, it was a great match for me. I came pretty close to winning, and it was awesome.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 21. I turned 21 this past July.
Give him a nice round of applause for just out of the birthday month, 21. Let me tell you something. When I was 21, I was still weeping every night. I was crying myself to sleep. You're touring the world as a tennis professional.
They were using wood rackets when we were
They were
21.
using the Jack Kramer Pro Staff that you had to put a press on to keep it from warping.
Wow.
That's it.
You've heard of those, haven't you?
I have.
Now, tell me about how your preparation's going this week for the 2010 Pilot Pen.
It's going well. I mean, it rained yesterday. I had a match scheduled yesterday. I finished it this morning. I won, so that was good. And
He won. This is how unprepared. I didn't even know. Give him a nice round of applause. Donald Young. Yes. What happened in the match? How was it?
I played well. The stats say I won 65% of the points, so
Nice.
Stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie.
any day you do that, it's a good day. Yeah, it went well. I won. I came out with the win, so I'm excited and happy to move on to the next round.
Excellent. Now let's. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, who's actually an actual sports reporter. Me, I'm just a schlub.
No, not at all. But I want to know, dealing with the rain and having to come back, you're still young in the sport. Have you mastered, do you have a routine that if you have a rain in the middle of your match and you have to come back, what do you do and how do you prepare?
No, I haven't mastered. I don't really have a routine, but this past time I just played a word game with my mom, and we went on and off a couple times, and it was a lot of sitting, so we basically talked, tried to fall asleep. That didn't really work either, so it was just a bunch of sitting. It was pretty boring.
That's a question I like to ask, like how do you deal with all the downtime at these tournaments, and you can't really, you can't really just really totally relax because you still got to be on your game. What do you like to do? Listen to music or video games?
I love listening to music. That's always a good time waster, and watching TV, but you don't want to get too distracted. But it was just really tough. I mean, it's always like that because there's going to be more downtime than it is actual physically on the court anyway. So there's more hours in the day than you're actually on the court. What, 2 hours, 1.5? So yeah.
So when you go to different towns, all across the country, all across the world, do you like to go out and travel and see the sights, or do you mostly like to stay, listen to the iPod, work out, eat your food?
I wish I could get out more, but when you're like in Europe and other places, you don't have a car, they're driving on the wrong side of the street, and so
What is up with that?
I don't know. You really don't want to I don't know what's up with that, but that's the way they do it, and so you have other people drive you around, but you really have to practice and can't be walking around too much, or else you get kind of tired. So it's a good balance, but sometimes I really would like to hope to get out there sometime.
So will you go out in New Haven at all? When's your next? Do you know when your next match is scheduled?
I don't know. Probably tomorrow. I'm not sure, but we walk downtown from our hotel to eat, so that's about all we get to see.
Yeah, you got that dining pass where you get to go to all the restaurants, right?
Yeah, the passport. I have to pick mine up.
Passport,
I actually
yeah.
haven't gotten it,
I'll tell you what. If you're not using it,
Yeah.
you'll be the
borrow
first one I
this?
give
give
it
it to your friend Bruce. If you're just joining us, this is Lunch with Bruce, live from the Michelob Ultra stage. I'm Bruce Barber. This is Donald Young, up-and-coming American tennis superstar. Give him a nice round of applause. And Mark Robbins from News 8. You know what, Donald, I'd like to ask you to speak a little bit to these guys with the tennis balls affixed to their hats, which is going to be the new trend, I'm predicting, but also to some of the other, my friend Yak over here, some of the younger players. What should the young players be thinking about as they develop their game?
One biggest thing is never think you know it all. You can always learn. Even the top level guys can still learn, and still that's why they have coaches. And just keep getting better and improving yourself, and just keep working hard. I mean, just if you believe in it, just keep doing it, and don't really listen to what other people have to say, and just really believe in yourself if that's what you want to do.
At what age did you or your family say, well, we've got something here? Like what age did you start playing tennis, and then when did you really know, wow?
I started playing tennis when I was 3.
That's a racket.
How did that come about? Was it just one of those on the ground, you pick it up, or was it a
No,
planned?
my parents played, so they brought me on the stroller on the court and whatnot, so I was always around it. And you know, if I was good, they gave me a chance to swing it around and hit a little. So, and I enjoyed it and keep wanting more and more time, and got it and kept getting better. And
then what age was it that everybody's starting to go, well, this is not going to be just, he's not going to be just playing for the club level or in the, you know.
The goal at first was just to get a college scholarship. I don't think we really started thinking anything more than that until I was about 13, 14. I was starting to beat people that were 18, ranked high in the nation, and beating the guys that were playing ITFs and whatnot. So that was probably the big turning point.
Do you sometimes, I asked this of Sam Stozer yesterday, do you sometimes just, say, my gosh, I can't believe what I've accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes all by so fast when you're doing it. You don't really get a chance to look back and enjoy it, because in tennis, there's always another week and you're playing. It's not like you practice 4 years for this one time. You play 25 tournaments a year. So. But there are a couple really big ones that you want to do well at. But I try to reflect and look at tapes when I'm losing and feeling bad. I look at matches I won at. So
that's what I'm going to start doing. Yeah, Mark Robbins, one last question, then we'll let Donald go.
When you decided to make this your career, what went into the decision? You're so young, obviously you probably leaned on family, friends, adults at the time, older than you. What went into that decision to turn pro and make it your vocation and not just play for fun?
Well, that's a good question. It was probably because I had sponsors that were willing to sponsor me to play, and
money.
Yeah, when that and when that happens, you kind of have to think about it, and then I can always go back to school. And I was meeting guys that were playing college tennis. Actually, I really wish I could have played college tennis, but this is kind of prime time to play and throughout your college years. But yeah, I was doing things at a young age that were pretty at the time hadn't been done, and yeah, so it was a tough decision, but I'm pretty happy with the way it went, and still trying to make it work.
Sounds like you want to, real quick, sounds like you want to go to school.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to school after. I say that, a lot of people say that, but I'm pretty sure I will, definitely.
We have some connections at Yale.
I don't know if I'll make the cut.
No, I think you're a Yale man. Well, I got to tell you something. We love the Pilot Pen tennis tournament, and we love players such as yourself who support it. You've been so wonderful, and we'd really like to thank you. Donald Young, a class act.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Donald Young, our guest today on Lunch with Bruce.